I'm here to talk to you today about the possibilities of what happens if writing is for everyone. So this begs the question, what if writing was for everyone? Or we don't even need to go everyone. What if each and every one of you here today can start to explore writing? And I don't mean it in a journal or keyboard warrior on Twitter kind of way, but as a way to express yourself and to create art. But I'm already seeing some doubtful faces here. You might be thinking like, this is not for me, right? And I don't blame you, because I used to think the same about the arts, especially writing. It's like you needed to study a certain course, or you needed to do a very good internship before you can get into writing. But I'm here today to persuade you otherwise and to leave you with the thought of maybe I too can explore writing. Now, before I encourage you, let me try to discourage you by talking more about why I think writing is not for everyone. Because writing is also not certain things, right? For one, writing is not a confirmed path, in that just because you join the industry doesn't mean you will get anywhere. Like, take for instance, Emily Dickinson, Van Gogh, artists, right? People who have pursued their path but never gotten anything. So that may be what writing is not. Second, writing is not a get-rich-quick industry. In fact, it's not even a get-rich industry. If you want to get rich, you should take Tiga Soul's advice just now. You become doctor, lawyer, engineer, right? And lastly, writing is not a pathway to fame. Again, because if fame is all you're looking for, you have a better chances of finding it on TikTok. However, having said that, I know many Malaysians who have found their path in writing. It doesn't matter if it's video game writing or travel writing, novel writing, even writing the manual for your toaster. There are people who do that and people who enjoy that, right? So many Malaysians are already doing that. So we can do away with that first one. Second one, I also know many Malaysians who are not only sustaining themselves through just their words, but earning quite a lot of money. So let's take away that one as well. And we have many homegrown talents. Tan Tuan Eng, Tengku Halim, Zencho, Gina Yap, Cassandra Kao, Hannah Elkaf. I can go on and on. All of these people are from Malaysia, and I haven't even started in the proper list yet. Right? So we can remove that as well. So I hope that my discouragement has somehow given you some encouragement. But we are not here to talk about what writing is not, right? I'm here to persuade you to think of writing as something for you, no matter who you are. Even though you may have been thinking about trying, but you don't dare. Or if it didn't even cross your mind at all. I hope that once I show this perspective, you will start to see like, maybe I can try writing. Right? So I have 3 points to persuade you. First reason why I think writing is for everybody is because your diverse voice matters. It doesn't matter whether it's you or the neighbor sitting beside you, you each have a very unique story that only you can tell. Then some of you may be thinking, what is this? I don't have a story. I'm just a student. But that is a story, right? You putting down your experience as a student may help older students live some nostalgia. It may help future students see what life is like on campus, right? Or let's put that aside. Maybe some others of you are thinking, what are you talking about? I don't even have the writing skills. That also is a story. I don't know about you, but if you enjoy writing so much that you will pursue it even though you don't have the skills, that is a story that I would want to read. Right? So it doesn't matter what you come up with. I prefer numbers. I'm a science person. No matter what, that is your story. And that is the first reason why I think writing is for everyone. Because we all have our stories to tell, whether we believe it or not. Number 2, I think writing is for everyone because we all have our problems to deal with. No matter who you are, you will have problems. Sorry lah. Famous author Chuck Palahniuk, the writer of Fight Club, he once had a very noisy neighbor. And what he did was, he channeled all his frustrations into his novel. The novel was titled Lullaby. And by the end of the novel, he realized that even though the neighbor was still noisy, he didn't feel the pain anymore. It was somehow like an exposure therapy for him. Let's not take a celebrity's experience. Let's take someone more local. Visual artist is a different art, but he's from Malaysia. I had the opportunity to talk to Ivan Lam last month, and he's an illustrator. And what he did was, he was dealing with some physical pains. And he channeled all those pains into art. And it became an entire exhibition. So you can see that your pain doesn't need to be just something that you vent on Facebook or Twitter. It can actually be used to create art. That's the second reason why I think writing is for everyone, because we all have our problems. And the last and final reason why I think writing is for everyone is because your participation matters. When I say participation, I mean sending in manuscripts to publishers, asking editors for vacancies, sending in short stories. Because what happens when you do this is you signal to the industry that Malaysia's writing scene is still good. Why you want to do this is because if you don't, and if people stop telling local stories, publishers will stop publishing, the hype will die down, people won't want to pay for writing anymore, all our local language, culture, folklore, they all disappear if you don't tell a story. And that's the third reason why I think writing is for everyone, is because if we don't do it for ourselves, we still might at least do it for other people. So these are my 3 points, and let's say I have managed to convince you that, okay, maybe I wasn't a writer, I haven't been a writer, but now I'm starting to see that, it's something that I can explore rather than something that I study for, right? So I will give you 3 tips to get started if that is the case. And after these 3 tips, we will reach the end. First, we start off, if you want to start writing today, what's the first thing you do? My advice would be to find your niche. I know this is very cliche, but you have to know what you like in the first place. Disclaimer, I don't have a niche. I've written everything from travel stories to business news, finance, tech, novels, short stories. And that is my diverse voice, right? My voice is, I don't have a niche, so that's my niche. For you, it may be different. For you, you might be a watch specialist or a cancer researcher, mental health advocate, or a watch specialist who is a cancer researcher. The possibilities are endless, but you have to find your niche so that you can go on to the next step. And the next step is to emulate your favorites. So if you like travel writing, what exactly? Is it the articles on National Geographic? Is it on a specific blog? Once you know that, try and emulate how they do it. Is it 2,000 words? Where does the photos come from? Do they break down any sections? When you emulate things like that, you will start to build a portfolio, and the next time when you reach out to people like National Geographic, they will be like, wow, this guy writes like our style. So you will get a higher chance of penetrating into the industry that you want. And after doing that, final point is to always ship. You have to always share your work. The famous marketer Seth Godin says that always be shipping. Even if you ship lousy stuff, always be shipping. Why? Because it teaches you how to come up with a final product. Even though it's lousy, at least it is a product. If you don't share something, you won't have the motivation to create a full product. But what is more important is that if you do this long enough, among your circle of friends, if someone were to ask, oh, we need a writer, who can we find? Guess who is going to be the authority in your circle of friends? That's why I always advocate to always share. And I know these 3 tips may sound a bit simple. You might be hoping for some better hacks, right? That you can get from Google. But the thing about it is, these 3 tips have served me pretty well. I'm standing here today all because I've done those 3. I didn't even have a SPM. I didn't finish my SPM. And I didn't even have prior experience before going into writing. Which brings me to my final point. Why I think writing is for everyone. Is because no matter who you are, you don't need education or special experiences to go into writing. In fact, it is the writing that will give you the education or experiences. Thank you.